Okay, this is problem 5.6.11, and we're asked to factor. And this problem fits the form of a difference of cubes, so we're going to be using that formula. And I want to address right off the bat the question that the person that asked this, their question was, why is it that we don't need to write these in descending order? And the answer to that is when you're working with, there are certain times, certain problems where you want to write things in descending order, and then there are times when we don't. And the times that we want to write things in descending order are basically when we're working with trinomials. So when we're trying to factor a trinomial, then it's appropriate to write it in descending order and go with your process from there, either the AC method or the trial and error method. When you're working with anything that involves a formula, and this problem does involve a formula, then you don't need to write it in descending order. What you're actually trying to do is write it in the form of the formula. And the formula for this is this right here. So a cubed minus b cubed is going to factor into a minus b. We're going to have a squared. It's going to be plus ab, and then plus b squared. Okay, so anything that fits this form right here, this a cubed minus b cubed form, is going to factor into this. So what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to try and write this in the form of something cubed minus something else cubed. Okay, so the descending order has nothing to do with it in these problems. And so what I want to do is think about how can I write 8 as something cubed, and that's actually 2 cubed. And then how can I write 27 as something cubed, and that's 3 cubed, and then we have our a cubed. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and write this as a quantity cubed because I need to be able to see what it is that's actually being cubed. So 3a, whole thing being cubed there. Since the 3 is being cubed and the a is being cubed, then we can bring these together and think of it as this quantity that's being cubed. Okay, now the reason for doing it and writing it like this is so that we can identify what's a and what's b in the formula. So the a from my formula, and I realize this problem has an a in it. Why don't I actually change that so this doesn't get confusing? So let's just make it an x. It doesn't matter what the variable is. Okay. So the a in this problem is actually the 2. That's what's being cubed in this first slot. And the b in this formula is what's being cubed right here, and that's actually the 3x. Okay. So once we've identified the a and the b, we can go ahead and just stick those into our formula and write it out. So this becomes a minus b, so it becomes 2 minus 3x. Then we have a squared. Well, the a is 2, and we're going to end up squaring it. We have plus a times b, so that's 2 times 3x. And then plus the b squared, so that's 3x, this whole thing being squared. Okay, so what we want to do now is just simplify inside this parenthesis. So this becomes 2 minus 3x. The 2 squared is 4. We have 6x, and 3 squared is 9, and then x squared. So this square here is applied to both the 3 and the x. And that would be it in this problem. So that's our answer. Oh, but since the original problem was in A, make sure you enter, when you go to do this and enter it, you'll need to enter it in A.